Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2023 Genesis Scottish Open as well as the 2023 Barbasol Championship. I will be doing a strategy video for both. And of course, I'll be going over the same things I typically do, which are the sweet spot ranks, the marquee tee times, as well. Well, we'll do the anchor buckets for the Barbasol Championship. Can't really do it for the Genesis Scottish Open since we don't have enough data for the bucket system to do its thing. So it'll just be for the Barbasol Championship. Of course, I'll be building lineups here at the end of the video. So if you would like me to build 2 to 4 golfers for either tournament, I can do just that for you. So if you have interest in playing the Barbasol Championship this week, if you have interest in playing the Genesis Scottish Open, let me know 2 golfers you want to build lineups around. I do have some requests from emails to build some lineups, so I'll be doing that. But otherwise, yeah, if you're here in the live chat, let me know who you would like to build lineups around. I'm still trying to mess around with some of these spreadsheets because I had a very busy day, so I wasn't able to do everything in time. That is why the stream is starting a little bit late. So I apologize for starting late, but I think we have everything covered. So before I get into the strategy video, just some reminders. I like to do a subscriber and a weekly giveaway. So what that entails is you need to be subscribed and participate on the channel if you want to get entries into the giveaway. You get 1 free entry per video that you participate on. So if you're here in the live chat, all you got to do is comment and you will get an entry that way. When it goes on replay, go ahead, comment on that. You get an entry there. And then I think I posted 5 or 6 videos already. So if you want to go ahead and comment on any of those, you will get 1 free entry per video. So that is available to you as well. And then weekly giveaways are ran every Monday night. I give $5 away for the weekly giveaways. The monthly giveaway requires us hitting that sub goal you see all the way over there to the left. So we need to get up to 600 subscribers. I'm at 566, or I think I'm at 567. I need to update that. But we do have a little ways to go. If we don't reach that goal, I will instead give away a t-shirt with the SweetSpotDFS logo on it or a sleeve of golf balls. So that'll be available to you guys that way. And that monthly giveaway is ran the first Monday of the new month. So again, I like to reward those that participate on the channel. None of your participation goes unnoticed. I want to thank you. And one way to thank you is to, give a little reward for doing so. So that's one giveaway. Another one is a prize picks giveaway. I call this more of a rebate because I'm still going to give $20 away to whoever uses the SweetSpot promo code when they sign up on prize picks. So it's not so much a giveaway where there's a chance to win. You will get $20 back regardless just by signing up using the promo code SweetSpot when you do on prize picks and then putting $20 in your account. There's a link in the description for that. So if you are interested in doing that, check it out there. By the way, prize picks will match your deposit up to $100. So if you want to put more than $20 in your account, you certainly welcome to do so. Prize picks will give you an additional $100. You're still getting $20 from me, but if you want to play this for free, all you got to do is put $20 in your account and I'll give you $20 back. But instead of just having 20 in your account, you'll have 40 because of that prize picks match. So again, link in the description below. Now, I am also providing a cheat sheet. I'll throw that on the screen right now. If you want to follow along with me during the strategy video, everything that you see on the cheat sheet is what I'll be going over or what I'll be using in doing the strategy video. Now, you have the Genesis Scottish Open in here. You also have the Barbasol Championship. There are tabs at the bottom of this cheat sheet. One says Dream Sheet. That's where you can see the Genesis Scottish Open. The other one says Alternate Dream Sheet. That's where you'll see the Barbasol Championship. And the bucket system that's on here is only for the Barbasol Championship. Again, I talked about this in the preview. There's only 1 year worth of data when it comes to the Genesis Scottish Open being on the PGA Tour. Prior to that, it was just DP World Tour, and I don't have any of that data, so I did not create a bucket system for it. We did kind of cover it a little bit in the preview video. We're just kind of using the universal bucket system values. So if you want to go check that out, maybe take a break here, go over there, or check out the preview. Or when I talk about building lineups or anything that revolves around the bucket system, you can listen in on the strategy video because I will also include it here. So the cheat sheet's available, but so too are a couple optimizers. So I built 2 optimizers this week. One is for the Barbasol Championship, and then one is for the Genesis Scottish Open. Obviously, you can't see it on the screen which one is which, but you can kind of tell with the player pool that's here. This is the Genesis Scottish Open, and then this one here is the Barbasol Championship. Now, each one of these optimizers has all of the bucket system values in here that we've already discussed in the preview video. Same goes with the Genesis Scottish Open. So we're going to use these values that are here. If you don't want to care anything about the bucket system and you just want to take my word for it, it's already built into the optimizer. So you certainly can just use the optimizer to build some lineups that you like and figure out if they fall in the buckets for you. So that is what I am giving away this week. If you are interested in the optimizer, you need to be subscribed to the channel, and then you're gonna have to email me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. You can see it right there, letting me know that you are interested in the optimizer. And I believe Ian Christensen would like the optimizer. So Ian, I will send it to you right now. Let me know if you want also the Barbasol Championship whenever you come into the stream, or if you're catching this late, email me and I can send you the Barbasol one as well. So, optimizer has been sent. Now, let's continue on and go over the pieces that I want to cover. I'm going to start with the Genesis Scottish Open, and then once I'm done with that, I'll go into the Barbasol Championship. I'll cover that completely, and then we'll get into lineup building. And you can tell me whatever contest or whatever tournament you want to build lineups for, I will do that. So let's go ahead and start, like I said, with the Genesis Scottish Open. Good evening, Joanne. And let's talk about the rankings. Now, I kind of talked about this in the preview to some extent. We have PGA Tour golfers mixed in with DP World Tour golfers. And the DP World Tour they're not getting any love from my rankings because I just use PGA Tour specific stats. Now, obviously, there are people out there that are trying to persuade you to use their website because they have DP World Tour stats. In all honesty, that's awesome. But I said this in the preview video, the PGA Tour should have a 1.25 times multiplier to the importance of their stats over the DP World Tour. I know we're in Scotland for this event, but if you were to look at the top 10 of last year's Genesis Scottish Open, it was mostly PGA Tour golfers. And if you look at the top 20, it was even more. Sure, some DP World Tour golfers did find themselves inside the top 10 as well as the top 20, but I had said in the preview, and I still stand by it today, I wouldn't play more than 2 DP World Tour golfers in my lineups. Now, if you do end up getting the optimizer and you like some of these DP World Tour golfers, all you need to do is find this little metric here, and let's find a DP World Tour golfer that maybe I like. So I am scrolling. Let me keep looking. Okay, Alexander Bjork. I know he was kind of talked up, like on Pat Mayo and a couple other shows. If you like him and you're using the optimizer, all you have to do, give him a boost in his point total. He was 710 in my metric. Now he's 910. And that way the optimizer will select him more. What I would be careful with is look at some other guys that are like 910. Do you think Alexander Bjork is better than Sahith Theegala? Probably not. So maybe you monkey around with this metric to be a little bit more fair to the type of golfer he is, or you just leave it as is. But in my opinion, I am not really focusing on playing a DP World Tour golfer. I think I just leave everything as is. If I end up selecting one, or if the optimizer ends up selecting one, that's awesome. but I do not want to force in a DP World Tour golfer. And you're going to see most of these golfers are ranked pretty low. Like Gavin Kyle Green, he's been on the DP World Tour forever. He's not getting any love. He's a 109 in my model. That might not resonate with you very well, but that's just how my model works. I don't want to give golfers on the DP World Tour an equal or a fair advantage, or not even an advantage, but a fair representation when it comes to how good they are versus the PGA Tour, if that makes any sense. So that is why that's why the rankings that I have are going to be so heavily dominated by the PGA Tour guys, and you're not going to see many DP World Tour golfers in there. Now, let me go ahead and sort this back by salaries. I usually like to find the $8,000 mark, which is Corey Connors here at $8,000. That is line 24. Any salary that jumps up that's lower than $8,000, we would call that a value. And of course, we can keep track of some of these other salaries that are up here at the top just to see, you know, who really kind of comes in as a value. Wyndham Clark looks like he's one for me at $9,000. He is the 5th ranked golfer in my model. There's a little bit of a shuffle here when it comes to salaries, or when my rankings versus salaries. Sky Scheffler is the top price guy, and he is number 1 in the model. That's obviously a good sign with DraftKings and me. It all works out. Our best golfer is the highest price golfer. Then we have Patrick Cantlay at 10.2, Xander at 10.4, and then Rory at 10.9. And I actually kind of think that's correct. I kind of want to give a little bit of a boost to Rory just because he is a Euro Tour golfer, or he came from the European Tour. I shouldn't even say he came from there. He comes from Northern Ireland. So this is, lack of better words, in his backyard. It really isn't. But I feel like, yeah, it's more of a feel like, right? It's not a think like. I feel like Rory does well overseas, but I don't have any data to support that claim. So I don't know. Still kind of like Rory. I don't mind him being the 2nd price guy. I'm not really flocking to playing him. Like, I don't really want too much exposure to Rory, but I don't mind playing some Rory. Wyndham is interesting, $9,000. I think it's well deserved for, you know, the last month that he kind of had with the US Open, as well as the Wells Fargo Championship. I think that is kind of well deserved. Victor Hovland. I like Victor this week. So 9,700. I mean, Wyndham's the only one that kind of goes above him, you know, so Victor's pretty close to his value. I'm not going to talk about every single golfer. Adam Scott seems to be a pretty decent value. We have Andrew Putnam and Sahith Theegala up here. Sure. And then Brian Harman at $7,600. Funny enough, Corey Connors is pretty darn close to where his salary is. He's on line 25. If you remember, $8,000 was line 24. That's where he was before. So he's pretty much right in line with his value. And then you see a few like 7K golfers underneath him: Thomas Dietrich, Alex Smalley, Keith Mitchell. I guarantee you Dietrich and Smalley are up there because of their good finish here last year. So that's fine. I think that's awesome when it comes to those rankings. Now, one of the big reasons I talk about the rankings is because they go into the marquee tee times. Oh, by the way, before I get into the marquee tee times, if you want to see how my model, how it breaks out with scoring, you can go all the way to the right of the cheat sheet, and you're going to find starting with OWGR, you're going to find all the points that go into the metric, just so you know. Kind of have it color coordinated to make it easy for at least myself and you guys to know what these stats are. So OWGR is self-explanatory. These grass stats go back, well, these 2 grass stats go back to 2013. As you can see, I don't even know why I mentioned it. We don't have grass stats. I don't have fescue stats, so never mind. Ignore that. I guess when it comes to the Barbasol Championship, we have bent grass there, so you're going to see grass 1. It's going to be bent grass, and that's just for the Barbasol. So those 2 stats go back to 2013. This one just goes back 1 full year, just so you know. If you can remember that when we talk about the Barbasol. I do have tournament history. Then we have season-long bogey avoidance, birdie or better, driving distance, recent form stats and DraftKings points, recent form average, which is, this goes back the last 7 weeks. It's their average finishing position, and then it's their average round by round scoring. That goes into this column right here. And then we have 1 year's worth of data when it comes to DraftKings points, the average DraftKings points, average round by round scoring, round under 70 percentage, cut made percentage, DK top 10. Now, I use all these stats every single week because I am trying to figure out how well these stats go in every single, like I'll be able to analyze tournaments moving forward. If you think models should change based off of the event, I don't disagree, but I kind of am more interested in trying to figure out how well my model does every single week, if it's consistent, where I can analyze it for better purposes and that kind of thing. So I keep it the same, and I intend to keep it the same. So again, if you're questioning why are we using birdie or better percentage, we're probably not going to see that many birdies here. It's really just to separate the good golfers from the bad golfers. That's essentially it. I'm trying to find the best golfers in the field versus the rest of them. If there was a course fit model that you have, I would use it. You know, that'd be added to the metric for me. But I don't have that as of right now. In the future, maybe that'll happen, but I'm going to keep on with these metrics. And what I was kind of getting to before these sweet spot ranks go into the marquee tee times, which this is also found on the cheat sheet. If you go and put a filter on the dream sheet, go to this group rank and go A to Z, sort A to Z. I'm going to highlight all, every third golfer or every 3 golfers, because those are all the golfers in a group that are playing together Thursday, Friday. The reason I do this is because going back to the PGA Championship, and where Phil Mickelson won, I can't remember, is that 2020 or 2021? It would have been 2020. Was it 2019? Have I gone back that far with this and I just have been confusing myself? I'm going to look it up really quick. I just want to know it. I'm sure you guys already know too, right? Phil won in 2021. Okay, 2021. So I've been going back since 2021. I've been analyzing the marquee tee times. I've kept it the same every single week, where I'm looking at the top 9 groups. It used to be the top 10 groups, but I was able to shave that 10th group off, mostly for optimizer, for using the optimizer the way I want, but also that 10th ranked group never really showed up in the optimal lineup. And that's something worth repeating. I am trying to hit the optimal lineup. So that is what I'm pursuing. That's what I'm targeting. In order to hit the optimal lineup, you got to follow certain rules. And the marquee tee times are one of those, or it is one of those rules. So what I found out is you want to select 2 to 4 groups, and then only 1 golfer from each of those groups to anchor your lineups around. So how that would look like is, if you liked Ricky Fowler, that'd be the first group you're selecting. Do not pair him up with Tyrrell Hatton or Wyndham Clark. Now, you certainly can, but the stats on that, where it happens, is less than 10%. So over 90% of the time, when we look at optimal lineup golfers and then looking at the marquee tee times, 90% of the time, they are not paired up together with anyone else in their group. But the optimal lineup, golfers in the optimal lineup are not paired up Thursday, Friday in 90% of the tournaments. So I just like to play the numbers game and not do that. So again, if you liked Ricky Fowler, pair him up with maybe Xander Schauffele or Rory McIlroy or Justin Thomas. And maybe if you're a shot like Harden, you probably want to play Sam Burns, right? So that's 3 golfers. I see shot like Harden already posted. By the way, welcome Ian, Chris Snar, and obviously shot like Harden. You said in a video yesterday Burns was in the ultimate worst bucket, but didn't say what bucket that was. I still have to place him though. Yeah, what was it? Bucket 4? The last year 4 bucket? That was your 60 to 80 range. There are 3 golfers that are in that bucket that are pretty decent. I did talk about that. They could be the trend breaker, but for the most part, that bucket is not a good bucket to play golfers from. But either way, Ricky, JT, and Sam Burns might be a good core for Shot Like Harden, and it would follow the marquee tee times. So do with that as you will. I follow the sweet spot process 100%, 100% of the time. So I will at least select 2 golfers from the marquee tee times to play together, and they won't be paired up. So if you are looking at this and you want me to build lineups with you, lineups for you using the optimizer, just keep in mind we don't pair up golfers together on the sweet spot process. I certainly can if you want me to. I break the rules every once in a while, but if you're sticking to the sweet spot process completely, don't pair golfers up together. So just of the 9 groups you see, the 27 golfers, find 2 to 4 golfers you want to play that are not paired up with each other, with any of each other, well, or however you would say that comment. But 2 to 4 groups, 1 golfer each, and that it would be your marquee tee times. Now, there aren't anchor buckets to talk about when it comes to the Genesis Scottish Open. Again, we only have 1 year worth of data when it comes to the buckets and the Genesis Scottish Open, so we don't have anchor buckets to talk about. So I'm actually going to jump over to the Barbasol Championship and do the exact same thing that I just did for the Genesis Scottish Open. So we'll go to this page. I was like, it looks different. You want to know why it looks different? There isn't as much green because these are not very good golfers. So the green over here, if you follow along with me on the preview video, this is all color coordinated by the strokes gain buckets. Strokes gain 1 means all stats are positive with strokes gain. When we go to the Barbasol, we see nobody that has all stats green. So that's why it looks different. It looks just weird. It looks barren. Like there's no color to it. So I think that's pretty funny. Okay, so let's do the exact same thing we did with the Genesis Scottish Open. Let's go ahead and start talking about the sweet spot ranks. Once again, you can follow along with me on the cheat sheet. I'll go ahead and pull that cheat sheet up and go to the alternate dream sheet down on the bottom tabs. Here you can go scroll all the way over to see what goes into these metrics. Starts at CY, column CY. It's the exact same thing that I have on my dream sheet. So I'll go back to mine. My number 1 golfer is Taylor Pendrith. Actually, again, I got to do this the way that I typically do. Let's find where 8,000 is. Line 24, by the way. That's the same line that the Genesis Scottish Open was. So there is something DraftKings is doing that is somewhat consistent. So it almost looks like they have, what was this, 22 golfers? 22 golfers, 8K and above. So they have it with the Genesis Scottish Open as well. So I'm going to go ahead and resort by the rankings. Remember this line here, anybody that's less than $8,000 that shows up here, we would call a value, like a really good value. And then obviously we can keep track of all the other price tags when we resort this. So Taylor Pendrith is my number 1 golfer in this model, and I have no issue with that. Followed by Justin Lauer, which is interesting. He had COVID last week. That's why he had to withdraw. Remember when we were doing the live chat Wednesday night and we were talking Rainmakers, and boom, it's like, well, wait. I need to make an update with one of my lineups. This is weird. Found out that Lauer withdrew, and we didn't really know what the reason was until a little bit later in the week. So it was COVID-19 related. I think we're okay. If you've ever had COVID, 2 days, you kind of feel crappy, and then you just get right back to, I mean, you can have long COVID, but I'd say someone like Justin Lauer, being as young as he is, he probably won't get long COVID. I think he'll be just fine. So I think you could play him with relative confidence, I guess. Again, you can follow, or you can see what goes into the points. Yes, I do have grass stats for grass 1. We are on bent grass greens, so we have bent grass as the number 1 grass. I can't remember if Bermuda is on the fairways or the rough. I could have included that with grass too, but it really doesn't matter. I think just using bent grass is fine. Of course, tournament history and all the other stats that go into this scoring model that I talked about in the Genesis Scotch Open is the same for the Barbasol Championship. Scores are obviously a little bit lower, but this is obviously ranked ordered by how many points they scored. So again, Taylor Pendrith is my #1 golfer. Justin Lauer's #2. Lucas Glover's #3. Akshay Bhatia is #4. And Peter Quest, who shot like Harden says Quest is winning the Barbasol, he is #5 in my model. If you were following along with me on the preview video, I did talk about how 10K golfers dominate the Barbasol Championship. And just to kind of prove that again, $10,900 Seamus Power won the 2021 Barbasol Championship. Luke List was at 10-3. Patrick Rogers was at a flat 10. And then we have Charles Schwartzel down here at 10-6. I don't know if there's any more 10K golfers, but 4 of them inside the top 26. Really 3 of them inside the top 5. In 2022, both of your 10K golfers in Streelman and Hubbard were in the optimal lineup. So you had 2 10K golfers there. I don't know if we had more 10K golfers, probably, but there we go. Chris got her up. So I was making this kind of distinction. So there's 3 10K golfers, and 2 of them, again, were in the optimal lineup. So if you wanted, I think what I'm going to do when I build some of these lineups is put 2 10K golfers together. Now, here was the thing that I went with that I kind of talked about that's going to kind of maybe rub Shot Like Harden the wrong way. Had to do with, I guess we can't really tell with 2021. So if we look at our 10K golfers, there were only 4, and most of them finished pretty decent. But here's the thing. Let me double check here. Got her up. Was it just because he's a rookie? Was that the reason why I went with 2020? Okay, I must have done it that way. So like Peter Quest and Lucas Glover, if you look at their course history and last year's stat, neither one of them has played this tournament yet. And then we went to 2022. Streelman is like Glover and Goddard is like Quest. They have very similar stat profiles coming into this event. Similar, but not exact. Now, you could do with that however you'd like. In 2022 or 2021, we didn't really have a quote-unquote rookie. Schwartzel would have been your Streelman. He would have been, I guess, your Lucas Glover this year, where they've been on tour for a while, just haven't played this event yet. So they both would be 26, not super great. So if Glover finishes like that, not super great. The other 3 guys in the 10K range up here have all played this tournament before. So 2021 is not a really good comparison. And then we didn't have salaries in 2019. So I can't really provide that. But starting with the 10K range, I think is just fine. I also don't really have an issue playing Peter Quest, honestly. I think that's fine. The guy's got a solid game, so I have no issues with that. But I am very interested in playing someone like Taylor Pendrith, mostly because, well, we had, a top 20 finish here with Mark Hubbard. It's not going to work out that well with the John Deere Classic the week before when it comes to Taylor Pendrith. And, of course, we didn't have last year's stats looking there. But 2013, Pendrith didn't play the John Deere Classic, but he did have a top 20. He did in his, I guess if we want to really kind of, I guess maybe grasp at straws, is his last finish was a top 20. But so too was Peter Quest, so too was Lucas Glover. So I don't know. I think starting with 2 10K golfers this week, it sounds very interesting to me, and I have no issue doing that. We'll see what it looks like when building with the optimizer, but just throwing that out there, 10K range, any of those 10K golfers are fine. I also think playing like a $9,300 Justin Lauer is fine. Akshay Bhatia, I don't know. I'm not sure. I would have imagined he would have done better at the John Deere Classic as well as the Rocket Mortgage Classic. But when we look at Akshay Bhatia's recent stats or his recent finishes, a 35th at John Deere Classic, and an 85th at Rocket Mortgage. This is going to be a tournament similar to those two tournaments, and the fact that he didn't play well at either of them, that's kind of concerning, in my opinion. So let's look at some, line 24 was our 8K range. This is the Barbasol, so there are so many different price tags up here, like Tanagoya. He's number 16 in my model. That seems like, I don't know. I don't know if DraftKings made a mistake or if my model made a mistake, but $6,900 is up there. Chris Stroud, I actually don't mind, to be quite honest. Chris Stroud seems just fine. So I don't mind going to someone like Chris Stroud. Interesting, and I would say concerning, but not so much is Cam Champ. I don't mind Champ this week. I think he's going to be a decent play. We have Satoshi Kodaira, Austin Smotherman, which I think a lot of people will probably be playing, James Hahn, Ryan Gerard, Scott Piercy, Sung-Yul No. They're all 7K golfers above that 8K threshold that I had. Marty Doe, by the way, I think is a wonderful play this week. I imagine the optimizer will be selecting Marty Doe quite a bit. So keep all of that in mind. Those are the rankings, and of course we have marquee tee times with us. Oh yeah, Troy Merritt is out. I need to just remove him right now. There, easy peasy. Okay, let me go ahead and do this again. Sort by group rank. Again, you can do this. Follow along with me on the cheat sheet. Just go to that alternate dream sheet, put a filter on there, and then go to group rank. And then we can go through the marquee tee times together. I've already explained what the marquee tee times were when we were talking about the Genesis Scottish Open, but if you need a refresher, pick 2 to 4 golfers, or 2 to 4 groups, 1 golfer from each of those groups. We don't want to pair golfers up together, so keep that in mind. And these are your top 9 groups in the Barbasol Championship. I think it's really interesting because you have the 10K golfers together, and this is going to break my rule. Where I want to play the 10K golfers together, I'm probably just going to break the rule and put them together. But we'll see. Lineup building might not even be that easy, so maybe we don't put those golfers together because it won't be easy. But they are group number 1, and they have the best rankings cumulatively, by far away and above anyone else or any of the other groups. If you look at column A over here, you got the number 1 ranked golfer in my model, the number 3, and the number 5. And then everything else has like, well, this next group has nothing higher than 31, but then when you go groups down below that, it's 50 or above. You'll have at least 1 golfer in. And I think it's kind of interesting. Well, you know what? Never mind. Genesis Scottish Open was something I was going to mention because you had a lot of good golfers, like 2 good golfers mixed in with the DP World Tour golfer, and I think the PGA Tour did it that way. So the Europeans over there, like the people watching, the spectators, have more vested interest in the golfers on their tour. You distracted me, Shelly Harden. Wes Bryan top 10? Is that like you hoping that happens, or do we see Wes Bryan up here? I don't know if I see Wes Bryan, but anyways, hey, Rainmakers, Wes Bryan's pretty cheap. Go get a Rainmaker card in Wes Bryan. Anyways, talking about the marquee tee times, there are some interesting names up here. We also have, because this is also a co-sanctioned event, we also have some European golfers over here as well. So interesting choices to play in these marquee tee times. We'll double check, or we'll see how this works out with the optimizer. Maybe just picking 2 golfers would probably be the smart way to go, but we'll see. We'll use the optimizer to help us out. Again, I have all this built in with the optimizer, so that's what we'll do with the marquee tee times and with the golfers here. Now, I do have anchor buckets that go with the Barbasol Championship. At least I have a complete bucket system for the Barbasol. Let's see if we do have any anchor buckets. I shouldn't say we have them, but let's double check. So if you're following along with me, you can do this as well on the cheat sheet. Again, you can find a link in the description below. You go to the max projection filter. First of all, go find the filter and put it on, and then find the max projection column. And we're going to go filter by condition greater than or equal to 2, because this will ensure that our minimums will always be 1 or greater. And then what I want to do is go to this column where it says bucket totals this year. And I basically just want to deselect everything except for like the top 30, like just 30 or less. So here are our anchor buckets. We want to find a guy who top 20'd this event last year. So let's go take a look at who the best golfers are in doing that. So basically all you do is go to last year column, go to last year ones. And out of these golfers, we want at least 1. We can have up to 3, but we want at least 1. So there's Taylor Pendrith, like I was kind of already mentioning. I do like Taylor Pendrith this week. But we also have Kevin Streelman, who has played this tournament well before. Justin Lauer, number 2 in my model. I tried to pronounce this guy's name last week or yesterday. Marcus Heligkilde. I'm imagining that's how you say his name, especially if he's like Danish, which I think he is. But he's a DP World Tour golfer. But then we have Tyler Duncan, Kramer Hickok, Sean O'Hare, and Max McGreevy. I would not sleep on Sean O'Hare. You know what? Most of my excitement with Sean O'Hare comes from like a few months ago when he was talking about how he feels good about his game. I think it was leading into the Player Championship. He had some decent results, or at least it appeared he had some decent results. I think maybe I'm still holding on to that with Sean O'Hare. It's possible, but he is number 30 in my model, $7,200. Seems like a pretty good value. But yeah, I'm having a hard time staying away from Taylor Pendrith. But if I want to build some other lineups, Kevin Streelman mixed in with one of those 10K golfers like Peter Quest or even Lucas Glover, I think would be just fine as well. And also Justin Lauer. So that's one way to look at that anchor bucket. We can go to the course history ones. Believe it or not, this is an anchor bucket. This usually is never an anchor bucket. We have 8 golfers, and again, that range is 1 to 3. So basically make sure there are no filters on this, or at least reselect everybody in the last year bucket and go to course history, clear everybody, but just select 1. And what do you know? We have the same guys. We have the same guys because they probably only played this event once. Actually, that wouldn't be true. Taylor Pendrith has played this a couple times. His last year total, or his last year result, is different than his course history. But Streelman, his is the same. Lauer's is the same. Heligkilde is the same. Piercy must have won this a while ago, I imagine. Is that true? What? Oh, 2015. So he hasn't played this since 2015. Interesting. One result there. I guess with Hickok, does not have one result, nor does Gligic, but it looks like Max McGreevy does. So really the only people that don't are Pendrith, Hickok, and Gligic. That doesn't really mean anything, by the way, because if we were to go look at other, course history ones of other Barbasol championships, they probably only played it one other time before. I mean, Pendrith would have been one of those guys, because it looks like he has a 13th place finish and an 11th place finish. Obviously, that makes 12 pretty easily. So we see these 3 guys, or I should say, well, let me put it to these 3 guys. The rest of them are kind of questionable. I wouldn't put a lot of stock into playing these guys right here just not over these guys. So I think you got to make a decision here. Who do you want to play between Pendrith, Streelman, or Lauer? And you probably can mix up 2. You could probably add 2 of them if you so wanted to. But interesting to see those guys show up once again. The next bucket to look at are recent form 3s. So again, just like I did before, make sure everyone is selected in the course history bucket, but we're going to recent form bucket. Clear everybody, but just select 3. There we go. We get Streelman once again. Streelman is up there, so too is Justin Lauer. We were just talking about those guys, and they're the only ones that show up from previous buckets we talked about. But you do have Carl Yuan, Andrew Novak, Chad Ramey. Those are all decent plays. Grayson Murray's okay. I'm probably not going to reach in playing Murray. Cody Gribble down there, by the way. I do like Cody Gribble this week. I think that's a play. When he got back on the tour, whether it was temporary status or whatever it is that got him back on, he's been playing pretty well. At least he's making enough birdies to be pretty decent in DraftKings. So he's a guy. So too is Austin Smotherman. I don't mind Ryan Gerard, number 12 in my model. Some decent names here, but Kevin Streelman and Justin Lauer obviously show up. This is the third anchor bucket they've shown up in, and we've only looked at 3. So far they're at 100%. And I can actually tell, I think Streelman is not in the salary bucket. So finding an 8K golfer, it looks like we won at least one of those. But strokes gained 3, like I'm going to skip past salary 3, which is the 8K range, and go into strokes gained 3, which Streelman is a part of. Not Justin Lauer though. So we'll go here, strokes gained, right into 3. And well, we also have Pendrith. We have Pendrith and Lucas Glover. So Pendrith is in all but one of the anchor buckets we talked about. Streelman is in all of them. There are no 8K golfers that follow the other anchor buckets. So I think we have some decisions to make. Now this bucket is, I think, 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4. What was it? 2 to 5. So we can play 2 to 5 golfers from this bucket. I'd mentioned the preview, I kind of want to do Glover and Pendrith, but it's kind of looking like I could do Pendrith and Streelman and cover all the other anchor buckets we were just talking about, and then include someone like Cody Gribble down here. And just start there. I could start like those 3 golfers and just fill in the rest. Or maybe start with these 2 and then slot in some of these golfers here. So definitely interesting ways of thinking about lineup building. So now that we covered the anchor buckets for the Barbasol Championship, and we covered both of the tournaments, the Genesis Scotch Open and the Barbasol for Sweet Spot ranks and marquee tee times, we're ready to start building lineups. So 42 minutes into this, that's pretty quick, especially covering two tournaments. Usually it's about an hour long. So for those of you in the chat or watching this live, go ahead, give me 2 to 4 golfers you would like me to build lineups with. I'm going to try to find some of the people who reached out and wanted me to build some lineups for them. So let me find that. Let me throw in some music first. Of course, we got to throw in the music. I believe it was a Twitter notification. Yeah. So AJ loved music. He wanted me to build a Hatton Clark or well, let's put it this way: Tyrrell Wyndham or Tyrrell Patrick Cantlay. But we can actually start with both of those. So I'll go ahead and pull up the Genesis Scottish Open optimizer. I do have all the buckets in there that I kind of see being the best buckets to choose from. Let me double check really quickly with last year's 6s. Is that what I want to see? Probably not. Well, here, what would be a last year's 6? Who did not play this event last year? Why would I want... So we got Rory, Fitzpatrick, Lowry, Aberg, Scott. Not a big pile of names. So I don't think that's going to be a 2 to 5. I need to change that. Ian, I sent you the optimizer. You probably want to change that on yours too. I would probably say 1 to 4, maybe 1 to 5. I don't even know if... Yeah. I'm having a hard time selecting 1 and being comfortable playing 1. 1 to 4 is fine. I don't mind doing 1 to 4. Only because when you look at the golfers that are in this bucket, going back to it, I should say, last year's 6s, it starts with Rory and then Fitzpatrick, Lowry, and then it jumps down to Aberg, Scott, Theegala. It doesn't really work out all that well. Some decent, yeah, some of these guys I don't mind fitting in, like Cam Davis or Austin Eckroat, Eric Cole, Seamus Power. I don't mind, or even Seth Theegala. I don't mind that. I think I would limit it at 4 though, which is totally fine with me. So let's see. One other, let's just double check our buckets here. 2 to 5 last week, 6s. Yeah, I mean, this could also just be 3 to 6. Yeah, let's just do 3 to 6. Reason being, I don't really care for people who came over from the John Deere Classic, honestly. So if I were to look at all the last, actually, hold on. I could go to the buckets right now and look at last week's 6s, did not play. 90% of the strength of field points are going towards this bucket. I think it's pretty safe to say 3 to 6 is probably the number we want to get at. Not taking away from any of the golfers that played really well at the John Deere Classic, but it doesn't really translate that well the following week. So yeah, we can bump up 3 to 6 here, and then I made it sure I didn't select a single one with course history. And when it comes to recent form, let's just double check that one as well. Recent form 3 and recent form 4. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just trying to find the heavy hitters. Like, are there enough good golfers from these buckets to actually play? And at least one of these guys I think is just fine. So yeah, recent form 3 works for me. And then recent form 4, that probably doesn't work for me. Yeah. Oh, wait, let's double check. Oh, these are all the golfers. It starts with Justin Thomas. Okay. So that's going to be one that I'm going to change. This will probably be a 0 to 3 now. I don't want at least one. 0 to 3 is fine with me. I think that one's updated fine. Strokes gain buckets, I think, are also fine. I did go through those. Let's just double check with strokes gain 4. That's the only one that I feel iffy about. So strokes gain 4, who are our best golfers here? Justin Rose, and then it goes into Højgaard, Thigala, Cole, Putnam, Norin. I'm actually okay playing at least one of these guys. Did we see one last year? Cameron Tringali. Just one. Cam Smith also. Oh, Tom Kim. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's fine. I think 1 to 4 is just fine. Or 1 to 3 would be fine with the strokes gain 4 buckets. And then salaries, basically the same that we typically have every single time. I was tempted to do 1 to 3 10K golfers, but I think 0 to 2 is fine. Okay, so Joshua Maz says, hey, hope all is well. Can we build lineups around Norin and Maroc? We certainly can. I am putting AJ Love Music in... he reached out earlier, so we're gonna put his golfers in first. But yeah, load up those lineups. Josh, I'm actually gonna pin yours first. Do I see anything else? I even pin yours. I have that stupid heart thing next to. I'll wait for yours for more people to post, and then I will pin your message to the top. All right, so Tyrrell and Wyndham. That is our first group. And unfortunately, sir, we shouldn't be doing that because they are paired up together. But let's go ahead and break that rule just for AJ, who reached out to me on Twitter. That's fine. He didn't know. So we'll run, let's just do like 3-4 lineups, and then we'll switch to his other one. So we have Hatton, Clark, Scott, Corey Connors. Ooh, that's a really good lineup. How do you feel about that one, Charlie Carden? Is that a sexy lineup or no? The arbiter of the arbiter of sexiness. Is that what we're gonna call you now? Ian, I just saw your comment on YouTube about Rainmakers, the core recipe. You crafted a Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, and Denny McCarthy? So you put in what? 10 core cards? 5 tokens? And then that gave you back 5 cards. And in those 5, you got Hovland, Morikawa, and Denny? That's crazy. I will bring up Rainmakers at the end of the video. So I'll be talking about that once again, especially with these crafting recipes. There are things to think about and to consider. But let's go ahead. I'll build another lineup for AJ. Corey Connors. I actually crafted an elite Corey Connors today. That was fun. I'm hoping it sells on stream, so then I can show you. I would love to craft a couple more, but we'll see. Ooh, this is a really good one too. Hatton, Clark, Scott, Aaron Rye, Thigala, Brian Harmon. I don't mind that one. Charlotte Harden goes, I saw that today. I didn't understand why it was so many cards to give up. I think it's just a different way of crafting because there are different recipes. So if you go to the rare recipe, they want you to put in 3, or was it 5 common cards? I can't remember what it is, but it's like 5 common cards and 1 token, 1 rare token to create 1 rare card. So I think that's fine. I think they're just trying to sell more tokens and get those out as quick as possible. I could be wrong, but it's what it appears to be. This lineup wasn't so bad for AJ. I don't like seeing all those $7,600 golfers together. Here we go. It's a bit different. Hatton Clark, Sung J M, Sam Burns. That's for you, Shali Carden, Sith Thigala, and Kevin Yu. I don't mind Kevin Yu this week. So let's go ahead and remove one of them. So we'll remove Hatton and put in Patrick Cantlay. This won't break our rules. This actually follows the rules perfectly. I'm going to clear this out a little bit. Maybe bring back some of the guys we can play. And change this back to 1. And then run the optimizer. I'll create about 5 of them. And then I'll get to your lineups, Josh. I have pinned yours up there. All right, so we have Cantlay, Hatton, M. Thigala, Keith Mitchell, Kevin Yu. Look at that 10-9-8-7-7-6. I have to save this one just because of how majestic that just turned out. I'm actually totally fine with that too. That's a good lineup. Mark Green, what's going on, man? What do you think of this young Northern Irish kid, Tom? Is that actually a real name, Tom? From the same town as Rory, did he get his maiden win on the DP World Tour a few weeks back? So certainly has. Okay, so I imagine that's a real. There's a jokester that comes in here and will try to get me to slip on saying some words. I've never heard of that name, Mark. I've never heard of it. There he is. Okay. Tom McKibben. Same town as Rory. Did get his maiden victory on the DP World Tour a few weeks back. I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple let me take a look at his results as of late. So cut at the British Masters, cut at the BMW International, but did win the Porsche European Open. KLM Open was 21st, cut, 71st, 18, 20 fin cut, 12th, 36, cut, 40th, 13th, 15th, 18th. Okay. Now at $6,400, I mean, I'm not going to play more than 2%. So that's my whole thought process. Never fall in love with the 6K golfer, but also never disrespect one. So I'm not going to throw any disrespect on McKibben, but if you're building one lineup and you have that risk tolerance to do so, to build one with him in it, by all means do so. I think you want a 6K golfer one way or the other. Ian goes, I've got to head out a little early tonight, but I'll rewatch tomorrow. Good luck, everyone. Good luck to you as well, Ian. Also, Ian, if you did want the Barbasol Championship optimizer, I can send it to you. No problem. The lineup on the screen is actually another good one. Cantlay, Hatton, Connors, Harmon, Cole, Mitchell. I will be saving that one as well. That one's a good one. Music's too low. Didn't even notice that. Let me know if that's too loud for you guys. Okay. Let's build a couple more. Ooh, includes Ben Griffin and Burns. I like this lineup too. What do you think about this one, Charlie Carden? That one's a good one. I'm kind of falling in love with these Cantlay Hatton lineups. They look way too good. Way too good. Lots of Keith Mitchell to go with them. So let's see if the next one's Keith Mitchell. I'll just kick him out. No Mitchell here. Cantlay, Hatton, Connors, Dietrich, Power. Oh, there is a Mitchell. I didn't even see that one. Yeah, okay. I'm going to bring back Shamo and probably kick out Keith Mitchell. Although the fact the optimizer selects him so much, this is my issue with my optimizer. And it's not even an issue. It's just I have this hate-love relationship with it where it actually, like, it was on Hadwin during the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And I didn't want to play Hadwin, Adam Hadwin, that is, then. Well, he finished second. So it would have been good to play Hadwin. The next week, I'm like, oh, I want to play Hadwin this week. And basically force the optimizer to continue to select him. Then he misses the cut. Last week, I don't remember. I'd have to go back and take a look to see. Very nice. I have to go back and see what the optimizer was selecting right away, but I don't remember a certain golfer finishing inside the top 10. I know I tried to force Ludwig Aberg quite a bit. Oh, Cam Young was one of them. I didn't really want to play so much Cam Young, and I made it choose. Well, Emiliano Grillo was #1 in my model, so I had no issue with it continuing to select him, and obviously he missed the cut. So I just remember with my optimizer, it usually finds 1 or 2 value plays that tend to finish inside the top 10, if not the optimal lineup, and I'm totally off of it. Like, that's terrible. And then when there are weeks like this where it's like, oh, Keith Mitchell showing up a lot, I noticed that. Like, I noticed the trend, so I'm talking about it. Keith Mitchell won't be inside the optimal or the top 10, but I'll be playing them because it's like, okay, optimizer, you convinced me because you were so good in the last couple weeks by picking these players. I'll take this because Keith would never be on my radar if it wasn't for the optimizer continuing to select Keith Mitchell. So I'm basically doing the Uno Reverso on myself when it comes to like, oh, hey, the optimizer likes this. Now I'm saying it and I'm going to get screwed by it, basically. Cantlay, Hatton, Burns, Thigala, Harman, Gordon. I don't really care. Don't care about that one. Ooh. All right, so here's one thing. When I was hand building my lineup, a dummy lineup that is, to put in all my contests, I was looking at all the names and I was like, 6K range. You know what? This is a great place to play Taylor Montgomery. $6,800. That bum has been so bad as of late that in the 6K range, I can invest on Taylor Montgomery. I've got no issue playing Montgomery this week. Of course, 6K range, so I'm not going to play him more than, he's in the higher 6K range, I'm not going to play him more than 4%. So take that however you want. This is okay. So Thigala keeps showing up. How about we kick Thigala out and see what else it's gonna build us? Like, it's always gonna do that 76-76, and I don't want to see that either. You're playing a ton of Ludwig this week, Charlie Carden? I don't mind that. I think at $8,200 is a great value. I'm gonna go ahead and throw out a tweet saying I'm live, so don't mind me for 2 seconds here. Okay. 50-1 outright. Ooh, that's juicy. Cantlay, Hatton, Scott, Harmon, Benny Ann, and Nick Taylor. Benny Ann's Rainmakers card was gobbled up pretty fast. The recipe for him, pretty fast. I don't mind going back to someone like Nick Taylor this week. This lineup isn't that bad. Cantlay, Hatton, Scott, Connors, Cagely, Harry Hall. Hey, Harry's back on the motherland, essentially. I don't know. It's fine. I'm not a huge fan of Harry Hall, but it works. Here's an interesting lineup. Cantlay, Hatton, Scott, Harmon, Davis, Bezadenhout. I'm also going to kick out Adam Scott, because he's going to show up a lot because he's a good value for his price. Cantlay, Hatton, Connors, Power, Davis, Cagely. There's a lineup I can get behind. That's different. I like it. Looks good. Okay. We'll get to Joshua's lineups now. Thank you for waiting, Joshua. We'll clear all of this out. And Noren and Moronk. So Josh, why do we want Noren and Moronk? Just feelings? Did another content creator get you on these guys? Noren and Moronk. Are they like low? There's Noren. Actually, you know what? Noren has been kind of trending upwards, so I got no issue playing Noren this week. Moronk was what, $6,800? Was that correct? Or am I losing it? Losing it. Okay, cool. He's playing with Cantlay. Interesting. And Fitzpatrick. All right. Is there a way to find out, this is what Joshua Maz says, is there a way to find out who has an average low apex on their shots, hearing it will be windy? No, ... Thank you. Oh, what was I asking that? The delay between us is difficult, like, for me to remember what I was just saying. And streamer brain, like, you forget what you just said. Feelings? Okay. Hey, what's going on, Byron? What up? Moronk, okay. We've got one of our stooges here. We just need Larry Berry. We've got Mo and Curly. Curly is Byron, right? Because of the Bob Ross wig. That's why he's Curly. And then, yeah, obviously, Charlie Carnes Mo. That makes sense. Okay, so we have Xander Schauffele, Victor Hovland, Adam Scott, Andrew Putnam. Josh? Oh, gotcha. Thank you for reminding me. Again, streamer brain. I totally forgot I even said that. That's right, Byron. Shots fired immediately. Josh, let me know, because Moronk is going to be the low metric guy of the other 4 that shows up. Let me know which one you'd want kicked. Just tell me kick so-and-so. So if it was like Adam Scott, just say kick Scott or kick Putnam, and I'll kick whoever you would like me to. While I continue giving, or as I continue to fire shots at Byron. Byron, you were on Rainmakers with what's his name? Is it Roslyn? What's his first name? Jason? No, it's not Jason. Is it Jason Roslin? I forget. That was an interesting. I kind of like that when it comes to forecasting what prices will be. I mean, dude, this Rainmakers is so untapped. If I get myself enough time, I'm gonna sit down and really get into it. Jason Roslin. Okay, yeah. Because I mean, that's how my brain thinks. Like, this is like Madden football to me, where it's trading. I would trade all my good players for lower players for, you know, like assets, so money in this scenario, plus future talent. Obviously, we can't hold them more than a week, or more than a year, but when the new season begins next year, I will have all of the rookies that are good. I will. And I'll also have a lot of the journeymen that no one wants to play. I will have them at their cheapest price, and I'll know that they're going to be good at like the Rocket Mortgage. I know they're going to be good at 3M Open. I know they're going to be good, you know, here, there, and wherever. And one of the other beautiful things that I've been doing on Rainmakers, I've been selling all my cards for more than I bought them for. So all the cards that I've just recently sold have been bought more than I purchased them for. So we got that going on for us. I'm digging Rainmakers big time, bigly. Scott has been kicked. Oh yeah, he burned me too at the US Open. I understand, Josh. I understand. So we have Xander Wyndham, Sam Burns, Sahith Theegala, Maronk, and Noren. That's a pretty solid lineup. I like that lineup. I'm going to save that lineup. It might be my only exposure to Alex Noren, unless we start building some more good lineups with Noren in them. All right. Tell me who to kick from this one. Byron, you want to know, obviously, I think you and Jason talked about this in your in that video. The uptick on price because of the Barbasol Championship was insane. Like, I sold Lucas Glover at $1 less than what his market value was, and that's why he sold so quick. But obviously, it was more than what I purchased him for, which I purchased him, I think, way long ago. But when I looked to see how much I sold him for, I think I sold him for like $1.09 or $1.90, I should say. And I think I bought him for $1.20, $1.30. So I got my profit out of it, but I could have profited much more, but I didn't really look at who was going to be in the field for the Barbasol. And I didn't even know they were going to have a contest for the Barbasol. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Xander has been kicked. Let's go ahead and look at the next lineup. Shot like hard and like Scott this week. Yeah. I'm going to basically keep most of my exposures here set. So you can see Adam Scott for me is 16%. I am just going to keep it at 16%. I don't want to play more than that. Yeah, Byron, and I thought about that. Like, I wish I'd have been a little bit more proactive with it, because I would have loved to try to sell those cards for a little bit more, or buy them before their sales went up. Like Smotherman, I had an elite Smotherman card that I was selling. Like I said, I sold everything at profit, so I think I bought him for $20, somewhere between $23 and $27, and I sold him for like $30. So like when the royalties and stuff got taken out, I probably made $1 or $2 whatever profit. He was being sold for $40. It's like, what the hell? $40? An elite Smotherman for 40? Okay, whatever. You guys can buy Smotherman for $40. I don't care. Josh, who'd you like kicked out of this one? This is another good one, by the way. Keith Mitchell, of course. Rory win. Okay, I gotta save this one actually. So that's 2 Sam Burns line. Okay. I gotta watch out. I don't want to have too much Sam Burns exposure. So I have the price history by each week, which we can use going into next season to try to predict the market. There we go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good choice, Josh. Good choice. Let's kick Mitchell. This just makes me want to get my website up and running that much faster so I can put some Rainmakers data on there and people can just come to my website or wherever, you know. Yes, Shalai Cardin, you won't be able to play them, but what you can do is use them for crafting, and I don't know what the minting thing is. Oh, no, you can hold them, by the way. You get 10% of value, whatever their card value is. So you'll get 10%. So, you know, I was talking about these rookie cards. How you can get 250 points for getting an elite rookie. Genesis elite rookie. That's worth 250 points right now. After the end of the season, it falls to 10% of the value. So they'll only be worth 25 points. So it'll go towards your weekly leaderboard score and all that stuff, but you won't be able to play them. And I don't think you'll be able to sell them. It'd be weird. I mean, I guess if people want 25 points from like, no, because they wouldn't be considered a rookie. So I'm sure that actually will go down way less than 25. They'd probably just be 2.5 points or whatever. I don't know. It wouldn't be that. The rookie multiplier would go away. So it'd be 125. Yeah, 12.5 points you'd get for one of those cards. Have you heard about the legacy contests? Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, Josh. This is a pretty solid lineup too. Hovland, Clark, Homa, Mitchell, Moronk, and Noren. Yeah, I'll save that one too. Let's build 2 more, Josh. Let me know who you want kicked out of this one. Dude, because I think Byron has a couple that or at least one that he wants me to build. It's a thing in the NFL, so we are not sure if it's going to happen for PGA. Gotcha. Okay. You like this lineup, Josh? I do too. Hovland, okay. Rory Clark, so this is going to be the second Rory Clark lineup we've seen. Ludwig Aberg, Moronk, Putnam, and Noren. I don't mind that lineup. The only thing that I wish it would have is, like, I don't mind Clark, but I would rather have like a Fleetwood instead of Clark. Have that same thing, but trade out Putnam for like a 6K golfer. And I think that's solid. All right, Josh, who do you want kicked out of this? I mean, if the Buckets would have built that lineup that I just said. Byron, I'm loving this gaming the weekly leaderboard quite a bit. It's almost like if I were to buy a so what I've been doing recently is like buying 2, maybe even 3 rookie cards for like $42 to $46, so I'm spending about $120 or whatever. That gets me into the top of the leaderboard for the week and gets me $50 in return. I just got $50 in return. Yeah, absolutely. The franchise point hustle. That's what I'm all about, man. In my mind, basically what's happening is these cards become, and I also sold a lot of my rookie, my elite rookie card. So I'm getting that $50 in return. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a ding because of the royalty points, but you're getting $50 back from the leaderboard thing. So I imagine for a lot of the cards that I have already bought and sold and the weekly leaderboard stuff, I bet you a lot of my Genesis rookie cards, I'm probably $100 down when I've spent over $400 on those cards. Like, I've gotten $300 back in return, and I can play those cards like this week at the Barbasol Championship. So I get to play in those elite contests. So it's, yeah, dude. Like, I'm kind of digging Kevin Roy this week, and I've got a ton of Kevin Roy elite Genesis rookie cards. I love this lineup, by the way. And also, I'll also be on the top of the leaderboard for the snapshots when those happen during the Open or the British Championship, as well as, or the British Open, I mean, as well as the snapshot for the playoffs. I'll also be at the top of the leaderboard because I have these rookie cards. So I'm going to get additional money when it comes to that stuff. The trick is trying to sell those cards to someone who wants to do the weekly leaderboard hustle at the end of the year. That would be a goal of mine, is to do that. If I could sell 2 of those cards by the end of the year, I've made back all of my investment, like the money that I've invested because of the weekly leaderboards as well as all that stuff. So super, super interesting. How do you feel about this one, Josh? Do you not like Taylor Montgomery? Oh yeah, shot like Harden. That's, yeah, absolutely. So I have something to talk about with the crafting. I went on and bought 3 really cheap rare cards, like $2 each. Bought my crafting token, which was $50. The elite crafting token, $50. So $6 plus 50, that's 56. I crafted a Corey Connors, an elite Corey Connors, which currently, whatever, if you want to believe the market value for that's $100 right now. Corey Connors is also going to be in the FedEx Cup Championship. Like he's won on tour already this year. He's up there in the FedEx Cup points. So it's like, if I can find 2 more guys or elite cards that are going to be in the FedEx Cup playoffs from crafting that are decent cards, like I'm all for it. I'm all game. I was thinking of saving it for the stream just to show you guys. But again, like if I sell that Corey Connors card, which if I do, like that's fine. If I sell that Corey Connors card, I will buy another crafting token. Cameron Champ is out. Okay, good to know. Okay, he does not mind. All right, Byron, let's build you some lineups. So Scotty, Wyndham, and Scott. You know, the last time you came in here, you wanted a Scotty Scott lineup. Scotty Too Hottie. You wanted a Scotty Too Hottie lineup. Loving it. 10K, 9K, 8K. So we already got the 10, 9, 8 start. Ooh. Scheffler, Clark, Scott, Putnam, Mitchell, Yu. Yeah, I don't mind this lineup. I don't mind Kevin Yu this week either. Maybe I'd want to see, like, I know I haven't really talked about, or I know I've talked about not getting cute and trying to play a European golfer, but kind of Would love to see European golfer in here also. Byron, if you keep seeing a name that shows up like, say, Keith Mitchell, which I'm sure will happen, let me know if you want end this stream. Let me know if you want someone kicked. You know, like I think Mitchell and Putnam will probably show up a lot with the 3 guys that you gave me. And if that's cool, if you want that and you just want to see all the different iterations that go with like the 6K golfers, by all means, we can continue doing that as well. Ben Griffin, I think, is going to get booted out of this one. I don't mind that one. I also don't mind like Ben Griffin this week either. I also don't mind playing 6 PGA Tour, just strict PGA Tour golfers and no DP World Tour guys. Yeah, so Putnam and Mitchell just keep showing up. So if you want to keep seeing them, I'll keep them in there. If you want me to kick them, I'll kick them. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, Michael Kim. That's new. That's interesting. Okay. Taylor. Ooh, Bezzy's in there for you. Christian Bezadenhout. They're Putnam once again, and Taylor Montgomery. You know what? I'm not going to play any Bezzy, so I have no issue saving this one Bezzy lineup. Oh, Josh, you're absolutely welcome. If you want me to build you some more lineups, let me know. I kind of just limit it like 5 lineups a person just to get through more lineups. So if you want to put yourself right back in the line, I'll do that. Okay, Byron, I have to say this because you're my buddy. You're the model maniac. Which I know it's half model and half maniac. There's a part of you that's a bit biased when it comes to, what would I call it? It's like being scorned from a bad performance. I think, you know, you got to have amnesia. You obviously know we talk, you know, the industry talks about that quite a bit, because like you get yourself onto certain guys where it's like, why would you get on that? And it's like, because you've got like this this feeling about them. Like there's a good alliteration that goes into the lineup builds, or there's a good narrative to put into a lineup, and it's like, but aren't you the model guy? Shouldn't you just be sticking to your model? And like you'll cut out the good guys from your model. Like no, there's too much ownerships on those guys, and then you lose out on those guys. I mean, I'm glad you hit with Sep this last week. That was awesome. Congratulations on getting Sep. But prior to this week, I was like, oh, you know, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's been something that I've thought about bringing up before. And like, just stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns. Who cares about ownership? Who cares about ownership? If you like a guy, you play that guy. Scotty gives you a little salary for the last 3 guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I guess if a 55-to-1 hits, then you can go 55 weeks in being a complete maniac and getting your next hit, and you're just right back to. So never mind. You put me in my place. I'm good. Okay. I apologize. My bad. I'm just throwing that out there in case you haven't if you haven't noticed. I observe everything. But yeah, I mean, the maniac obviously hit for you. So how many outrights did you have last week? By the way, do we still like Keith Mitchell and Putnam? You know who my guy was last week? It was Grillo. And Grillo just... Ugh. Do you typically have 5 outrights a week? Because then now we're talking every 11 weeks, you need to hit one. Get Mitchell out of there. You got it, man. Do you want Bramlett to show up somewhere else? Because I don't mind that. Joseph Bramlett, it's not like you're really seeing him all that often. Jody Garrison coming in. Just join. Are you doing any Barbasol lineups? I certainly can. I'm doing lineups for anybody, for any contest, or any either of the 2 events. Just give me 2 to 4 golfers you'd like me to build lineups around, and I will do that for you. By your reaction, Byron, that means I need to include, or not include, but I need to remove the X out button for Bramlett and Harry Hall. I don't mind Bramlett. Yeah, Jody, if you want me to build a lineup for you, give me 2 to 4 golfers from the Barbasol and I'll build you some lineups. Okay, that's cool. Gotcha, Byron. I wish I could do outrights. That'd be awesome. Here's a new one. You kick out Mitchell and that removes his buddy Putnam, so Mitchell and Putnam can't be together. Instead, we get Dietrich and Brandon Wu to go with Harry Hall. I could actually do that one too, man. That's like, I like that. I like the idea of that. Shot like Harden. I needed Shank or Denny to win. Or perhaps just Sepp not winning. I needed Sepp not to win, I think. And I would have got into there for like $100. I would have won 100 from Rainmakers. Putnam, ooh, I think I heard you talking about Nick Taylor with Mr. Roslin. Scheffler, Clark, Scott, Putnam, Taylor, Riley. Can we get to Davis Riley? Oh, you want to see what happens without Wyndham Clark in there? You got it. Jody wants to do Glover and Quest. I think you would be the next person up on building lineups. I don't think anyone else has anything in the queue. Let me double check. Yeah, that's it. So you got it, Jody. After I'll do like 3 more lineups for Byron here, and then we can go ahead and do some Barbasol lineups. Okay, so Scheffler, Tom Kim, Adam Scott, Sith Thagala, Putnam, Hoagie. Very unique, very interesting, very... yeah. Like, this would be a lineup I would just play because I think it's gross, so I would play it. Well, I mean, it's better than Emiliano Grillo roasting or grilling 65% of your lineups like he did for me. You live and die by the sword, man. That's how it goes sometimes. Okay, so we include Harmon, Putnam, and Montgomery. You know, if I was actually doing a core, I don't like. Okay, I don't like Tom Kim, but if there was a Tom Kim lineup that I like, it's probably this one. So I'll go ahead and save this one, but I'm not a huge fan of Tom Kim this week. I'm really not a huge fan of Tom Kim at all, honestly. Oh, Byron. So your did you have any success like close to what you had for your outright winner on DFS, or was it just the outright was the shining beacon of the week? So you don't like Dietrich, so we can go ahead and kick Dietrich out. I really don't like this lineup. Okay, so Tom Kim is showing up a lot. Do you want Tom Kim in your lineups? Shot Like Harden goes, I had Shank, Denny, Smalley, Kirk, Grillo, and Rainmakers, and was still winning Sunday morning with Grillo missing the cut. Barely had any SEP in DFS last week. Hit an 8-1 top 5 on Shank, though. There you go. $75 and Minimax turned into $50 despite Taylor and Grillo. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Yeah, let's kick Tom. I agree. Collective Thoughts goes, who are the weather guys? Dietrich is solid for bad weather, I think. I would imagine this would just be one of those blanket statements that everyone says. Play European golfers because they're all used to this weather, which is a big blanket statement. I don't have the stats for the weather, like weather splits or anything like that. I'm pretty sure if you're a golfer, I mean, I think all these guys, like the big thing you got to understand with, I think someone mentioned apex height earlier. I think you got to understand with a golf ball, it doesn't matter how low you hit the ball. It matters how penetrating your ball flight is, because Rory still hits a high ball in the wind, and for the longest time Rory was one of the best wind golfers. Like if you were to use like what's his name, Josh Bearhow or Josh Culp. Josh Culp had the wind stats or whatever. If you went by his, you would see Rory was like the #1 golfer all the time when it came to wind. And the fact remains, I mean, if you're going to hit a low ball, you better hope it's a firm golf course. And if it's a firm golf course, then that's how it works. If it's not a firm golf course, your ball's not going anywhere and you still need carry distance. So hitting a pure ball flight, not mishitting a golf ball, making sure you hit the screws every single time, that's really the antidote to wind. You still hit a wind ball, or you can still hit a ball up, you know, relatively high and not, I mean, the longer the ball's in the air, the more it's going to be affected. So you have to pick your poison, because a low ball hitter, you're either saying his ball's going to roll forever, or his ball's going to get hit just as much as another golfer's ball is going to get hit. If we're thinking about distance, because like the one funny argument that I always heard, this is how you know no one knows about golf, when they say something like, oh yeah, choose Ollie Schneiderjans or Cameron Champ because of how low they hit the ball. Yeah, but they're also carrying the ball really far. So that low ball flight is affected the exact same as a guy who hits the ball in the air. Unless you are a true believer that wind at different levels hit your golf ball differently, I would say a golfer who hits the ball higher still has more control of his golf ball than someone who hits it lower. So just to put the apex of a golf ball fallacy to rest, that's my thoughts. But anyways, yeah, that was kind of my soapbox when it comes to that. With the weather guys though, I don't know, you know, like I think like if I'm looking at right now on the list, Scotty, he's going to be good in weather. So is Rory. So is Xander. So is Cantlay. So is Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick just kind of like rings like that he's going to always be good. He won all of those Masters tournaments, and not including Augusta, but the Nordea Masters, the British Masters. He won all of those, and those would be tournaments where the weather was terrible. Hovland comes from Norway. If you want to throw that into your calculations, go for it. Hatton's from England. Fowler has proven to play well at Scottish Opens in bad weather. Fleetwood, obviously. Like, so if I keep going down this list, you're going to keep hearing me go, that guy's good, that guy's good, that guy's good, that guy's good. It's really difficult. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Or I should say absolutely to Byron, but shot like Harden, yeah, the win with Texas, absolutely. But once you get out of the trees, which is southern Minnesota, and you go all the way down to Texas, we're all playing the same conditions. Although I'm from northern Minnesota, so I'm in the trees. Anyways. Byron, okay, I got off topic. Byron, Scotty, Sungjae, Scott, Davis, Putnam, Woo. Not terrible. Let's see what the next one is. Yeah, Byron, pretty soon Iowa's just going to be nothing but windmills, right? And during the night, you're just going to see all these blinking red lights in the air with the noise happening. Ooh, hey, I don't mind this lineup. I'll save that one. It seems like a pretty good, kind of like a balanced lineup. All right, we'll get to Jody's lineups now. I'll clear this out and we'll bring up the Barbasol. And Jody wants to see Glover and Quest, which we've already talked about. All the 10K golfers are in the same group together. That kind of goes against the sweet spot process, but I've already talked about how I kind of want to do with the 10K golfers regardless. So I'm cool with that. And it was Glover and Quest. Okay. Take a look. See, now here's the thing. You've been burned by Brandon Wu way too many times, and Dylan Wu has been playing better. This is the week that Brandon Wu does just fine. This is the week that Brandon Wu beats out Dylan Wu. Look at this lineup. Glover, Quest, Marty Doe, who I was talking about earlier, like that. Tyler Duncan, absolutely love that too. I like this. I have no idea who the hell... I mean, I do know who Bo Hogue is, but when it comes to this event, is that the guy that I want to play? I'm going to save it and kind of put a red mark next to it. Yellow for caution. That's what we'll do. Dylan finally let me down last week. Yeah, it was bound to happen. I mean, the guy can't carry anything on his shoulders. They're too small. Are both Woos out this week? What's going on, Daryl? First time seeing you in the live chat. Obviously, you and I message each other quite a bit. Daryl is actually the person who got me to consider Rainmakers a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna double check on the Woo thing too. I'm not seeing any Woos out of the Scottish, and I'm not seeing any news of the Scottish either. Yeah, what happened is, okay, maybe I now have to go to Rob Bolton and see if he said that they withdrew. Ham Champ is out for the Barbasol, which kind of sucks. I don't see the Woos. What the hell? Yeah, I'm reading as much as I can. I'm not seeing them out either. Well, I guess that's worth keeping an eye on. Okay. This is an interesting lineup. Hey, Byron, can you tell me anything about Haligkilda? Pretty sure that's how you say his name. Eligilda? Eligilda? Yeah, I did too. Just got on a new ship, took second place in Rainmaker Legendary, missed. Oh my god. Look at Daryl doing the legendary stuff. Oh, Rainmakers. That's how you know, that's crazy. Like, you're gonna get better information from Rainmakers than you're gonna get on tour. I don't have any woo cards, so I don't know. We could also look at tee times. That's another way to double check the woos. I still have Dylan and Brandon Wu playing. They still have tee times on the site, so literally is Rainmakers the first place we're gonna get that information? And I do agree, but Justin Lauer being out first, when I was streaming last week, we first found out because of Rainmakers with Lauer being out. And I'm not saying that that's hey, take this for, you know, the best or whatever, but Daryl, you mind sharing what your lineup was last week? I am intrigued. By the way, does that just playing in those legendary contests, does that just pay back from the cards that you bought? I've been looking at like some of those leaderboards or just the payout structure, and it's like, well, if I were to spend say 5K on cards, get me a Scheffler and whatever, and there are only 10 people that are playing the Rainmakers or the legendary contests, and you get first place and you get $5,000 back, isn't that just paying back the cards you just bought? All right, I'm sorry, Jody. I got sidetracked with the the woo being out conversation, but okay, so something like this, I don't mind this lineup at all. I'll save that one. By the way, everyone, just so you know, lineup lock for the Scottish Open is 1:15 a.m. I think that might be Eastern time, so that'd be what, midnight for us? Is that correct? Let me double check. I'm just going off of Chad Eckert's tweet that I saw. Who knows how right that guy is ever. Yeah, 1:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. Just remember that. So that's going to be 2:15 Eastern time, I imagine. MD, what's going on, man? Take out Quest and maybe run. Okay, so I don't have Duffy in the in my optimizer. I know Duffy switched from the Scottish to the Barbasol, but I have not put Duffy. That would be a good choice. How much is Duffy? Maybe I'll just do it on the fly right now. 96. Okay, so he replaces Merit essentially. Okay. We can add people on the fly. As long as you don't mind waiting. Yeah. So there isn't anybody worth adding except for MJ Duffy. Here, I'll show you how this works. Not that one, the Barbasol. He's not gonna have grass stats, so it'll be a little whatever. And also not gonna be, actually, everything should be updated at the bottom. All right. Thoughts on Gerard and Gribble? I love Gribble, and I do not mind Gerard. Byron, I kind of like that he did that. Who are you talking about? Oh, MD. I'm so sorry, dude. I saw your question earlier, and I think I said, hey, MD, and I didn't actually answer it. Is Rasmus Højgaard going to be chalky this week? That's a good question for Byron. I don't really track ownership that much, if at all. And I think Rasmus is probably a popular golfer that most people will want to play. But outside of that, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, so MJ Duffy's not going to get any grass stats, but we can kind of give him a little bit of a boost if we want to. So now he's showing like 27th in the model. Or 76th in the model, sorry. Sorry if this is boring you guys, but in order to make a lineup, oops, we don't want that, with the right amount of players, we got to add them in. And I'm almost done, so you can hold your horses. Okay, voila. Oh, yeah. So the Duffy, okay, hold on. Let me get Duffy's stats. Daryl Mooney says, sent an email with a lineup to you and cards I can get my value back on. I have posted, but cards don't sell like they did at the start of the season. Gotcha. You know what? Let me just double check. I do have to add Duffy, and I won't know what his strokes gain buckets are if we don't. super riveting. Oh. Okay, I think that should do it. And I bet you his... Yeah, so now he goes to number 12 in the model. That makes sense. That makes sense. So many tabs to go through. So many tabs. And I will resave. Go ahead and add them to the optimizer. Wrong one. That's not where I want it. What the hell? Not save. Oh, I didn't. Dumb. Is there an issue with the stream by chance? I'm getting a weird message. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, sorry guys. Jim, hello, and good luck to you as well. Glover, Duffy, Gribble, Doe, Gerard, Kadira with $400 left. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Kind of changes the whole group rank. Oh well. Actually, I don't need to add that. I just need to add this. And Duffy can get what? 20%. And then we just go 2, 2, 2, 2. That should cover it all. Sorry for the wait, everyone. So we went with what? Duffy and who? We want... Did we take Glover out or Quest? I can't remember. You wanted Quest taken out. Take out Quest. Okay. We're good. Sorry, guys. Sorry for everything. Jody goes, I'm new to DFS. How do you construct lineups differently for cash as opposed to GPP? I think what's kind of happening now are, at least what I've heard in the cash community, is that you can't really build a cash lineup anymore that was like a traditional cash lineup. Like, Byron, if you're still in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but you would normally just build a very balanced build for your cash lineups. And you're not really so much caring if... You probably do care for extreme amounts of ownership, but, you know, probably not. Like, if I was looking at this week, I guess this isn't a perfect week to do it for the Barbasol, but if I was imagining, like, it would be like Smotherman you'd want on a team. He just seems extremely safe. I personally would put Marty Doe. I don't know what other people are feeling with that. I think a lot of people probably also feel comfortable playing Malnati. So that would be another, like, quote-unquote conservative play. Novak is probably another guy people go to, and maybe Lauer. So those 5 guys, and then whatever the salary is left over when it comes to, what do we got? That equals 42.6, so I can do 7,400. So yeah, you just find another safe, maybe even a veteran down here that you felt comfortable playing, like maybe even like Kramer Hickok at $7,300, or maybe John or James Hahn. But you would do something like that, like Russell Knox has, or even Ryan Moore has safety. You'd build safe for your cash lineups. Like you want to get all 6 of 6 through, but I think most people now are building for their cash lineups. They're like max entering cash lineups and putting a GPP winning build in there, and then those guys, I guess it depends on whatever GPP you're entering. If you're entering one of those multiple where people can put multiple entries in and not a single entry, people are putting their GPP winning builds in those. Daytime dreaming. Hey, Moondog. What's going on, man? Yeah, so Byron goes, I think for cash, you try to shoot for maximum floor cut making abilities. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so I would say if you're building, like I always advocate for the 10-9-8-7-7-6 build when it comes to GPPs, because that's where we see most GPPs, you know, winning lineups are very similar to that. When it comes to cash, you're more or less looking at a 9-8-8-8-7-7 basically, or a 9-9-8-8-7-7-7, something like, or whatever, to get to your 6 golfers. You normally wouldn't start in the 10K range if you're doing that. Daryl, is that Streelman or Steelman? Because there is a Steelman, isn't there, this week? That's the whole joke about it's Steelman, not Streelman. Just double checking. Just double checking. You know, I almost would never mind. This is an interesting lineup. Jody, Glover, Duffy, Marty Doe. I really like Marty Doe this week. Sung-Yul No, Aaron Cockerell, and Sean O'Hare. I actually like this lineup a lot. David Darnus, are you in the chat by the way, by chance? You just creep in. Look at this, Jason Scrivener. I like that lineup. I don't like leaving that much money. Well, actually, it's the Barbasol. Why not? A pretty decent lineup. Okay, Daryl, you got it. Charlie Carr in the contest selection for Barbasol is weak. I agree. I wish they would do those quarter winner take alls for the Barbasol. I feel like that's the perfect event to do it for. Look at this lineup too. Like for the Barbasol, okay, I would like the things that I would like with the Barbasol, since you're not going to get like a huge GPP, you know, you're not going to get a lot of golfer or a lot of people to play in a GPP. Why not make it all winner take alls and double ups? Like that would be the perfect solution, in my opinion. And even if there was just one contest that was a winner take all, like let's say you do your quarters, right? You just do those quarters for $50 winner take alls. Even if it was just 3 contests that were out there, I think that for my like bang for the buck is way better than max entering a quarter arcade, max entering a dime time that has a limited payout, and even if you wanted to join the $1 short game, it's like, ugh. Just I think that's why people don't play it. It's like you see those, you know, first place prizes, and you're like, I don't just want to grind out a Barbasol. Like, I want to, you know, 10x, 20x, 50x my money if possible. Jody Garrison, thoughts on the Kentucky boy Josh Teeter? I have played Josh Teeter in DFS before. I've played him like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. Not to my success, but I know that he has played well before. I don't mind him, but I'm also not a huge narrative. Like, I really believe in course history when it comes to, if you're comfortable with the golf course, you like the golf course, you usually play well at the golf course. I think Josh Teeter could play well at the golf course, but at $8,200, that's like borderline too expensive for a Josh Teeter. Like, I'd probably play Josh Teeter if he was $7,600. I think that would be fine. Glover, Doe, Del Rey, no, O'Hare. This is such a weird. All of those names are just odd to see on a leader, like just whatever. Glover, Doe, Del Rey, no. Wait, whoa. Are we singing The Sound of Music right now? Doe, Ray, no, O'Hare. Isn't that weird? Do, Ray, no, O'Hare. It's so stupid. Oh, I gotta save it. That was way too good. Anybody? It has to do well, right? This would be the maniac part of me. That one has to do well just because it's The Sound of Music. What would make this a better sound of music? We've got Doe, we've got Ray, we've got no. We're gonna use no as. Yeah, right. Yeah. I need a me. Where's the me? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Where is that? Yeah, do is no. We're cool with that. Do we have a me? Yes, that is, yeah, you got it, Byron. I don't see a me. I know this is going to sound terrible, but where are Asian golfers? There's got to be a me in there somewhere. Oh, man. Such a... Ugh. I mean, Sharpstein? Nah. Darn it. Sorry, Chalmers. That's not what we're looking for. Oh, boy. Going all over the place to try to find this me. Oh, yeah, Champ is out. We gotta... Did Champ go to the Scottish, I wonder? Ooh, Ramey! Ramey! Ramey is just... instead of Del Rey... Ray-me could be in there. Do, Ray-me. Okay. We've got something. We've got something. Daryl Mooney is just like, what the hell did I get myself into? He doesn't want to hear any of this stuff. Oh, Gabe. What's going on, man? Scotty in Scotland, book it. Yeah. Where the hell was Ramey? I'm trying to find him now. There he is. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put a yes there. That kind of makes me sad because I do like the Del Rey thing, but Ramey already has it. So we've got Do, Ramey. We need a Fa, which I bet you we're not going to get. Barry, we're trying to find the sound of music, okay? In lineup building, because we have Marty Doe. We have Chad Ramey. We need a Fa. Where are these FAs going? Are they? Oh my god, dude. They're picking up my formulas. Oh, so all the falses that I have, it's finding that. That is so stupid. How? Why? I don't even have the control tilde down. Is it just gonna find? Yes, it's finding every single one. Yes, we're off the deep end, by the way. We are off the deep end. What's going on? Yes, the Three Stooges. They're all here. Barry Larry, Shot Like Mo, and Back Nine Curly. That's what we got. Back Nine Curly, Shot Like Mo, and Barry Larry. Love it. New tab. I don't want to do that. Oh. Ooh, for T? Batia? I like that. Okay, we don't need the whole scale. So, Do, Re, Mi. We can skip Fa. So. So, is that our no? Yeah, that's probably our no. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So. La. Batia. La, but yeah, La something. All right. If you guys can find it, I'll build it, but it's looking good. So instead of Del Rey, can we get Marty Doe with Ramey? No. Oh, hair's in there though. Interesting. All right, let me go ahead and get Ramey out of there. Hey, that's not terrible. I like that. Fabrizio Zanatti. But I think he's from Paraguay, not France, if I remember correctly. I mean, Fabrizio, that works for me. Is he actually in this field? And or Zanatti, I guess. Oh, no. Zanatti's not even in the field. You got me all excited for no reason. Come on, Barry. Unbelievable. You got me so excited for nothing. Nothing. All right, I'm sorry. We did go off the deep end. Let me try to reel it back in. All right, 2 more lineups for Jody, and then I'm going to go to Daryl's. Let me go ahead and find Daryl's and pin it. Hiligkilda. Glover, Hiligkilda. Piercy, no, Goya, Duffy. It's not terrible. You know, okay, Barry, since you're here, you sent me the how to say Eldrick Oatheather. I wanted to hear the announcer say that. They showed him one time. Is Fabrizio down there? What the hell? 6,300? Are we talking about the Genesis Scottish Open? We are currently on the Barbasol, sir. The Barbasol. Get with it. Come on. Come on. I'm just kidding. All right. All right, Byron. Have a good night. All right. Not really digging a lot of these lineups. So we're moving on to Daryl's. If you have time, run one for Streelman, Smotherman, and Quest. Those are great. Those showed up in the buckets too. Like the anchor buckets, that is. Loving that. 10-9 and a 7. Maybe we can get an 8 in there somewhere. Quest. Ooh. Okay. So Hogue is interesting. I don't care for Hogue, but the other 5, that is solid. Quest, Streelman, Doe, Smotherman, Gerard, and Hogue. I don't care for Hogue, if I'm being honest. Daryl, if you're still here, I thought you said you sent me an email. Unless you were talking about something in the past, and that's possible. You certainly could have. I am intrigued. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Drop Hoagie. Oh. Drop Hoagie. From where? Quest, Streelman, Doe, Smotherman, Cockrell. Ooh, that's another good lineup. I like that one. Trying to send someone the optimizer really quick. Oh, shoot. I forget. So, you know what's funny about doing this optimizer? It literally, there's macros behind it. So it will copy and paste, and whatever's copied will be what I try to paste somewhere else. So I'm trying to paste something in my emails, and it's not super intuitive. Daryl, do you want both of the optimizers? Ooh. That's a sexy lineup, dude. Do you mind if I share it? Like, I'm not going to show it, but I'll share it. I don't think it's going to. So, Charlotte Carton, if you're still here, Daryl in that lineup had Steven Yeager, Lucas Glover, Adam Schenk, Sepp Straka, and Cam Young. Holy shit. Whoa. That's insane, dude. Insane. That is a hell of a lineup. 2 legendary cards and 3 elites. Wow. Wow. What a freaking lineup. That's nuts. Daryl, do you want... I'll just send you both. Yeah, no shit, right? What lineup beat that? So he had Yeager in his captain spot. I bet you that's probably what might... Because if someone had Sepp Straka in there in the lineup spot, that's probably would have beat him. But yeah, what does beat that? That's insane, dude. Insane. All right, Daryl, both of them being sent to you. Oh, you know what? I didn't add... Do you want me to send you the one with Duffy for the Barbasol? Oh, shoot. So I make copies, and then I build on the copy one. Like I do all of this on all the copies that I have. So I got to open up the original one and copy that over, which isn't a big deal. Not a big deal. It's just adding players at the bottom of the list. If you want Duffy, I'll send that over. If you don't care for Duffy, what you could do is actually pause the video and just add these values in to yours. And same applies for anyone else that got the Barbasol. Just pause the video right now or screenshot this and just type these values in at the bottom of the optimizer. That will work as well. The optimizer doesn't care about whatever's in all the other tabs that are at the bottom. So entirely up to you. I can resend it to you. Okay, perfect. Ian goes, I may have missed the Scottish Open lineup, so I can rewatch later, but can you send me the Barbasol optimizer? Okay, yeah, absolutely. So the first one, I mean, you're gonna see, I have one's called the SweetSpot Optimizer and the other one's called the SweetSpot Optimizer Alternate. So you'll know which one it is. So Ian, I sent it to you. Daryl, I sent you, already sent you the original one, so we're good with those. All right. So let's do some, Daryl, I'm really liking these. James Morrison. Didn't know Jim Morrison was in the field. That's crazy. I'm sure he gets that all the time. James Morrison. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Soren Kjeldsen. All right. So it's like these 5 are continuing to show up. Quest, Streelman, Doe, Smotherman, Gerard, which love it. I'm not really sold on these lower 6Ks. And you know what? Good point, Eric. Great point. We haven't seen a low 6K golfer inside the top 10 for this event dating back to 2021. So not a lot of data, but who in the low 6K range is going to do it for us? Maybe Brandon Matthews? Probably not. So $6,400 and less. Nick Watney? Probably not. Kjeldsen? No. There is Wesley Bryan. I know we have some people in the chat that like Wesley Bryan. Okay, how about this? I'll bump up Wesley Bryan. Daryl, do you like Wesley Bryan? It doesn't really, if you don't like Wesley Bryan, then it's not even worth it. Is there anyone in this low 6K range that entices you at all? If not, we're cutting it completely out of our lineup building. Robert Garrigus, maybe? Or any of these other kind of... I don't know, man. I'm really not seeing anyone that I like, so I'm just going to run it. You answer me however you like. I'm going to run it without low 6Ks. See what it does. It removes Marty Doe, which kind of sucks. I don't want Marty Doe to be gone, but I don't mind playing Trevor Cohn this week. You like Stallings? Well, is he a high 6K golfer? He's not a low 6K golfer. And is Stallings in the Genesis, or is he in the Barbasol? Oh, are we talking about Steven Stallings? If we are, I'll just go ahead and just mark him as yes, and we'll see what the optimizer does. There you go. 49.5. That works. Oh, there's another Stalling. Oh, $6,400 in the Genesis. Yeah, okay. Thought we were on the Barbasol, sir. We can't mix and match. I'm sorry, we can't mix and match. Doesn't work out. I'm showing him as 6,300. It's weird that you say 6,400 because that's exactly the price that Scott Stallings is in the Genesis. So this is the Genesis Scottish Open with Scotty up top. And then we have Steven Stallings 6,300. Oh, I forgot to say good luck to Jody. I don't know if Jody's still here, but hey, good luck to you as well. And good night. Anyways, here's the original lineup with Smotherman and Gerard with Stallings in it. If there's anyone you want me to kick, I can certainly kick, like Gerard or Smotherman. Otherwise, we can keep it like this, and we can remove Steven Stallings from it. Sure. Daytime, I can certainly do that. Here, I'm going to just look into the future and say you don't care for Steven Stallings all that much, other than seeing that one lineup. So let's do this again. There we go. I can do something like this. Quest, Streelman, Doe, Smotherman, no, Scrivener. Yeah, I could. Scrivener is fine. I do like this Peter Quest Streelman start. I like that. That one seems pretty solid too. I'm just saving all of these lineups I'm building for you because I like them too much. Sangmoon Bay, does he get it back this week? That'd be cool. All right, I'll build 2 more and then I will take a look at daytime's lineups. Oh, Jazz Jane Watananon with Cam Percy. Interesting. By the way, Daryl, a little hack with my optimizer. If you hold down Control and then while holding that down, you hit R, it will run the optimizer. That's a hotkey, so you don't have to continue clicking the Run Optimizer. This one's interesting. A little bit different. I don't really care for Paul Haley. I'm gonna do one more. Is that for real, Daryl, or are you just teasing? Because that's cool. Here we go. Teeter. Teeter gets involved naturally in this lineup. Josh, Teeter, Smotherman, Gerard, and Haley. Sure, let's just do it. Just because I'm probably not going to get to Teeter any other way. And this kind of just organically happened. Oh, gotcha. John Catlin. You know what? I don't mind that. Dude, these lineups are super good. I should probably try to avoid. I gotta see one more. These are all looking way too good. See, now I just feel like you guys are pulling my chain. I mean, it's cool one way or the other. But I've fallen for this before. YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube. So you want to know something funny? So my dad runs the golf course out here. And all of his friends tell him what I do. Like, hey, he goes on YouTube and he talks about golf and, you know, people listen and yada, yada, yada. And he's like, oh, I don't understand. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know, what are you talking about? And it's like his friends who are just as old as him. They're like, dude, like he goes through all the golf analysis and tries to give out the best you know, lineups for people. Like I said, he runs the golf course out here. I play League every Wednesday night. I got asked if I wanted to sponsor one of the teams. Just a small little fee, like nothing big. It's like, sure, you know. And then the people on the team were like, we'll buy merch, like we'll buy like a hat or whatever. I'm like, okay. I mean, we haven't done it yet, but my dad signs up my team as Sweet Shot, not Sweet Spot, not SweetSpot DFS, Sweet Shot. Like, we're that full of ourselves? Like, yeah, we hit sweet shots? Or, like, it's like, how do you screw that up? It is so stupid. Just that's how, like, he's just to that age now. Like, doesn't listen, doesn't know anything. Just terrible. Sweet shot. Jesus. Ooh, all right. A lot of Sung Yul knows. I might revisit this lineup, and I would kind of suggest that, Daryl. Maybe look at this again and maybe kick out Sung Yul No. If you don't like Sung Yul No, actually, I'm gonna do that right now because I do want to see what this looks like, and I'm actually gonna bring back Aaron Cockrell to see if he'll come back. Yeah, okay. I think we've seen that lineup already, though. So I don't know. My dad says that like he golfs in the senior league. Was he like 66, 67? No. Yeah, he's like 67, 68. I think he's 67. He says he still shoots like, you know, because they'll play 9 or 18. He said this last 18 he shot 78, so 6 over par. Just good, but I don't know how truthful that is. I think it is. Anybody know anything about Andrew Wilson? This seems like a pretty good lineup too. All right, we'll go. We'll look at daytimes lineups, or the one that Daytime wants to see. Okay, so Quest, Moeller, Ramey, Gerard, No, Levy. Where's Ramey? There he is. Gerard and No. I know you're, or I know he's 73. Where? What the heck? Oh, never mind. 75. My bad. And Alexander Levy, right? All right, let's review it. Just hit run optimizer, and this is also what you can do, Daryl, if you wanted to spot check hers. So we're leaving $700 on the table, which is fine. That does, I mean, usually I go 49.2, but this is what I do. So the bucket will choose or the optimizer chooses this in this column here. That's what it chooses. So these are our min maxes. So right away, you're not choosing the last year one. And I do have it set up to where you would want to select one. Doesn't mean you have to, so you don't have to. But you do have 4 here, which is totally fine. And I would say just having 4 here, you could probably do without having 1 there. That's fine. I do want you to select a missed cut from last week, but you don't have to. Everything else is in line. That looks fine when it comes to the buckets. Everything looks good for course history buckets. I do have one to select here for recent form 4s. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's fine. And nothing else is over the limit of the other one, so I'm cool with that too. Sometimes you have to make those choices. No more than 2 stroke chain 2, no more than 3 stroke chain 4, and then 5 and 6. Okay. I mean, that's fine too. We're going 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. Love that. Yep. Love that. We do have 2 golfers in group 3, and that is a sweet spot process thing that we don't want to do. And you have 5 golfers that are in the marquee tee times, which we want 4, somewhere between 2 to 4. So there are a couple things that don't work with it, and group 3 would be the big one. So we have Moeller and who together? No. So I would suggest maybe removing one of them. And I guess, let me see. If I were just to remove no, let's see what the optimizer would just select naturally. Using all the buckets. It breaks it. Okay. So let's go to no and remove Moeller. Unless you really like Moeller, and then we can bring back Moeller. That also breaks. Okay. So there are other golfers. Probably we could remove some just to try to match the buckets, but again, you don't have to follow it absolutely perfect. But if we're reviewing it based off the sweet spot process, the lineup you gave me does not work with the sweet spot process. What do you think about Jay Teeter, and will he be more than 10% owned? I imagine he's going to be more than 10% owned. I don't really care that much for Josh Teeter, if I'm being honest. We built one lineup with him in it. I think that's fine. One lineup is more than enough for me. And I'm not going to play a lot of lineups this week, so I'd probably play 50 lineups, and in those 50, one of them is good enough for me. Okay. Do we have any other lineups that want to be built? If not, that's fine. Do we want to talk about rainmakers at all? And if not, that's fine as well. We can call this an early stream. Let me know. I'm leaving it up to you guys. If I don't hear anything in the next 30 seconds, I guess we'll just call the stream good. Let's see. I wanted to do some Glover Pendrith lineups. Of course, that's going to break process, but we do have it already set up. Oh, let me double check. It did not. Daryl says, I'm doing one lineup, $33 single entry for each. The rest is in Rainmaker lineups. Appreciate everything. Absolutely, Daryl. And good luck. Yeah, the Connors card didn't sell Shally Carden, which is fine. I mean, I'll just keep it being out there, being sold. Any Rainmakers thoughts? Sure. And Daryl's around, so Daryl is like I said, Daryl's been the guy who's gotten me into Rainmakers. So, you have crafting now. So, this is actually going to be good for my buddy Dave, who's getting into this as well. Obviously, Daryl pointed this out before, because I went into, what did I go into? I went into do the crafting recipe and buy a token from the market, which is more expensive than any of the tokens you have here. So you need these tokens in order to craft, but you should see what you can craft first. That's probably worth way more. You go to the craft and burn, scroll down, and they have all these really interesting crafting things now. So like, it's not what it used to be. Like the first go around was a little bit different. So for the core crafting pack, if you just go to the details, it says 15 collectibles are required just for this recipe. And for this recipe, if you scroll down, you'll see all of the collectibles you need. So you need 10 cards and 5 tokens. I'm not going to do this right now because I don't really think I have enough eligible cards to do this, but you could do it for your cores. Rare crafting, by the way, requires 3 core cards, not rare cards. Like how it was before is you needed 2 rare cards and a rare token to like re-roll a new rare card. But this is, you need cores, and this is what I like. I mean, I think this is probably, to me, the more beneficial one, because you're only spending $10 on a... Here's the thing. The value you get back from a rare card, in my opinion, is less hurtful. Like, okay, so your cheapest card that you can buy on the shop. Yeah, so I guess I do have some thoughts here. So if I go to the shop, and we just go rares, and we list from low to high. Your cheapest card up here is $2.10. $2.10. Well, I might actually go back on my word here. So $2.10. A token is $9.99. $10 essentially. So, and what I'm trying to get at is crafting this. You have 3 cards that are core cards. They're probably going to be what? Like, you're going to put your 20 cent, 30 cent cards in here. I don't even know what the lowest core card is, but you're going to put those 3 right here. So it'll cost you 60 cents the most. And then you put your rare token in here. That would be $10. So at most you're spending, like, for this whole thing, you're spending what? Maybe $11, $12, something like that. Now, if you get a dud, the lowest price would be $2, right? So that's going to be 1/5 of what you put in there. Likewise, on the other side of it, if you're to do your rares for, say, the elite crafting, you need to put 3 rares in here, and then 1 elite token. The elite token is $49.99, so $50. And again, you just saw $2 for each of those cards, so you're gonna put in like $56. And the lowest elite card, I think right now, is being sold for $20. So I think maybe then it's worth it, because 20 into 50, yeah, $20. You're spending $56. That's almost like 1/3 of the value that you're getting back. But obviously, a lot of us don't operate that way. We operate by whole numbers. So, you know, if you were to spend $10 on a rare crafting token, that's probably more digestible than spending $50 on an elite token. And if you were to do your crafts with your core cards to try to get a good rare card, that then turns into, you know, you're spending $11 and you might only get 2 back. So, I mean, that's 1/5 of the value. So anyways, so I guess it is probably, if you're looking for value wise, it's definitely more valuable to try to get an elite card, because even if you do strike out, you can still sell one for $20. I actually just sold a Brandon Hagee card who isn't even playing to someone who I'm sure is going to use it to craft, like a legendary card, because you would just get your cheap cards that way as well. So I guess you're getting your money back a little bit more doing the elite way. If I were to go to my cards and just put in Connor's, one thing to note, so this is the card I'm currently selling, but I'll go ahead and listing. Just so you know, for this crafted series card, they're only printing 30 of them. That's one thing I didn't realize. They're only printing 30 of them. So I have the 17th edition out of 30. I would imagine if you can go somehow, if you can look this information up, because what if all of the Scotty cards get printed, all of the ROM cards get printed, all the Xander cards get printed, and you're like, you know what? I want to go ahead and craft an elite card. Yes, some of these elite cards are worth decent money, but they're not going to be your Scotties, they're not going to be your ROMs, they're not going to be those guys if all of the cards have already been printed. So you have to, if there's a way you can look into it, you have to look into it. And I'd imagine you're probably going to see a lot of cards, you know, up for sale. So yeah, you can see I'm listing mine for more than the guy above me, but I also have a better edition. So I'm just trying to see if someone will, you know, pay for it. And if not, so be it. Corey Connors will be with me to the FedEx Cup Championship, essentially. Daryl says, not worth unless you're getting rid of cards you don't like from prizes or packs you bought. You lose franchise points, and the players you trade in usually are better than what you get. I did 2 today for Elite, received a Kisner and a Cone. Well, Cone isn't bad. That gives you what? 100, well, 25 for the Elite. Crafting isn't going to get you anything times 2. So you got 50 points for that. I imagine, well, yeah, if you're doing rare cards, you're trading in 15 probably points to get 50. So if you're thinking about franchise points, that would be worth it. Because that's the other value that comes with trading your cards in. Because if you did get a Trevor Cone, he's obviously a rookie. And if you're getting an elite card, that's 25 times 2 is 50. So that's not terrible. Kisner's gross. Like Shotly Karn says, yuck. Kisner's good though. Or not. Kisner's gross. Cone is good. Just for franchise points. Yeah, I did one and I got this. Actually, I did another one. Which one did I get? I did the core cards as well. Gosh, who was it that I got that? Oh, I got an Austin Eckroat card. That's what I got. Yeah, I crafted an Eckroat card by putting in my lowest core cards. So Eckroat's a rookie, so I just get that 2 times multiplier. So this card here is worth 10 points, which is wonderful. So I'll probably keep that. Being sold for a decent amount. But I'll probably just keep it. But yeah, the whole crafting thing is interesting this week, or this time around, because they're different. It's a different recipe to get your cards. Oh, Ian, that's insane. Hovland, Morikawa, and McCarthy. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, no kidding. Ian, those are core cards you said? Yeah, core cards. That's pretty good, dude. Just so everyone's aware, once again, I usually like to talk about the leaderboard. They just came out with a snapshot for the British Open. So just in case you're not aware of this, whatever your overall leaderboard score, like what place you're in, you're automatically going to get this. It's a snapshot of what the overall leaderboard looks like. This isn't the week of, or this isn't the amount of points you accrue and what place you are, like the weekly leaderboard. It's whatever place you're in. So currently I'm what, 6,000th place or 660th place. So my overall rank is there. So when the snapshot happens, I'm in 660. That's going to be right here. So I'll get $35 just for being there. I can try to move up, but I mean, I would have to continue spending more and more money, which, hey, if it happens, it happens. If not, so be it. 2431. Yeah, so I'd 200 points so I could go get myself another rookie card, an elite rookie card for $50 basically, just to move up to 613th place. to get inside. What is it? Do I have to be inside the top 500 or top 600? I didn't see. Top 400. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to be inside the top 400. Where in the hell is the top 400? $45.08. So yeah, doubling that score is just not going to happen. Let's say 250. Oh, well, hold on. I could buy 10 elite rookie Genesis cards, you know, $40 a pop. So I could, you know, I could put down like $400 just to get 80. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I won't be doing that, so that's fine. I mean, my snapshot is going to be, you know, 35 is 35, but this is what I'm saying. When you play Rainmakers, it's as long as you're investing properly and you're buying the cards that can get you these leaderboard points, you're going to get money in return. So I don't think I'm going to get kicked out of 1000th place, so I'll get 35 for sure. And I imagine this FedEx Cup playoff snapshot, so in August when it starts, I think it's when it starts, you know, $200,000 will be given away for that snapshot. I imagine that's going to look, okay, this is $150,000, by the way. So that one below it is going to be even worth more. So I don't know what the low end is going to be. I don't know what this will end up being, but hey, more ways to make money. You sold off all of your rare cards? Okay. I didn't even have a ton of rare cards and didn't want to invest more into the rare at this point in the season. Yeah, so I think if I was doing this, so if I do this next year, I think what I'd want to do is start with the rare cards. Obviously, we're going to see the fall swing. I think that's when the new season's going to start. So we're going to have rare cards. So basically what I would do, so I'm going to throw this over here and just look at the schedule. Let's see, full schedule. So the fall swing is going to be the same. You're going to have the Fortinet, you'll have Sanderson Farms, Shriners, Zozo, CJ Cup, Butterfield, Bermuda, Worldwide Technology. Just for these fall swing events, I imagine this is, again, like this is going to be the same as next year. I mean, look at some of these winners. You had Svensson at the RSM. Before this, Svensson was really a nobody. He was someone who was playing his way up, but if you were to buy a Svensson card at the beginning of last year, I imagine if you bought a rare card, he'd probably be worth, what, $3 at most? Obviously, you're going to have to get lucky with those, but like Finau is still going to be, a rare card would still be like $30, $40. Henley would be $6, you know. Power at this time wouldn't have been worth that much. He'd been like $3, $4, $5 maybe. Rory would have been what, $60, $70? I don't know. Bradley wouldn't have been that much at this time. Tom Kim would have been like $12, $13, $14, and I bet you that's Bradley would have been somewhere between $8 to $12. Hughes would have been like $8 maybe, $6 to $8, something like that. Homa at this time probably would have been $20 some. So my whole thought process is, if you look at some of these tournaments, you know, the Fortinet, John Rahm has played in before, but he never really comes to it all that often. I don't even think there was a big name that was at the Fortinet. Sanderson, same thing. You're not going to get your Rorys or Scotty Schefflers or anyone playing the Sanderson. There will be a contest for the Ryder Cup, so just replace this President's Cup with the Ryder Cup. I'm pretty sure there's going to be contest for that. The Shriners, no one's really going to be at the Shriners. That's, you know, elite. Zozo, someone will be. I mean, like, there will be like 1, 2, or maybe even 3 guys. Like Patrick Cantlay might show up to this one, you know, golfers like that. Same applies for the CJ Cup. You know, Rory will probably try to be back-to-back-to-back defending champion. So he'll be there. I'm sure Morikawa will be there. There'll be a couple dudes who have played this event a few times. They'll be there. But it's those 2 tournaments out of the rest of them that those guys will be. And then obviously there's a month, you know, layoff or whatever. But what I would be doing at the beginning of the year, so I think what I'll do is invest in some of these like mid-tier golfers. And probably their values would be what, somewhere between $4 to $8, something like that. Just, you got to construct the same, or you got to construct a good lineup. But outside of that, I don't know if I really want to invest in any of these big names, you know, especially if their values are going to still remain $40, $50, $60 like Rory. Like, you know what, I'll just wait. Like, I'm not gonna put that much money into those guys, because you have to wait a while to get to the Tournament of Champions. And when the Tournament of Champions happens, Sony won't have a big name. Well, actually, no. When this happens here, maybe it's worthwhile in that month off that you do find some of these big names. And so what I'm trying to get at is I might buy a Jon Rahm just to have, you know, that might be $100, $120. But I would want to get this access to the Century Tournament of Champions. I'd want to get this access. If he comes back to defend this, I want that. We know he's going to play at Farmers, so you get 3 weeks like early on with Jon Rahm. Yeah, why wouldn't I get Jon Rahm? And if there's another golfer that kind of pops up that's like, yeah, why wouldn't you want that? I wouldn't mind biting the bullet and buying early. Like, I'm sure Rahm might be $100, $120. But if you put Rahm as your captain and say you've got some of the lesser name guys, like obviously when you go to the American Express, what was it? Davis Thompson finished second. You can add those guys to your cheap list. Xander was up there third, but you remember he backdoored because he had his albatross on round 4. Chris Kirk, Taylor Montgomery wasn't going to be that expensive back then. Kirk would have been, you know, a rare card would have still been like $15 probably for a Kirk. But then you got Van Rooyen down here, Matty Schmid, Shelton. Probably stay away from Kim. I mean, I wouldn't have spent money on Kim. I would have put on Poston. Here's Scotty Scheffler. By the way, Scotty Scheffler played in the tournament. I forgot about that. But there are some of these lesser known dudes that you could have, you know, slotted in with Rahm. And, you know, if you can win one of those first events, because again, if you were to look at, like if we go to the lobby and just go to one of the rare contests, so put it in a good lineup, you know, like let's say if you have a good set of golfers, winning $2,000 early on in the season would set you up pretty good for the next couple of events to buy more cards, to maybe solidify your lineups and build some really good lineups. Or my favorite ones to do are the bankroll boosters. So like, even if you had a ROM here, getting $25 back for one event on a ROM card means your ROM is $25 cheaper. That's kind of how I would look at it. So, you know, you don't always have to throw them in these big GPPs unless you have the cards to do so. You know, what's the likelihood you get first? I mean, for Daryl, it's pretty high, but for the rest of us, you know, probably not so great. I mean, $20 for your payout, and that's, you know, so far they pay out 266 other 1,200 places. There's 2.5K in there already, and this will continue to go up as the week goes on. So you might, you know, 3/4 of the field might not even get paid out. Whereas if you were to look at this bankroll booster, top 100 win 25, it's currently at 275. Yeah, I guess we're kind of seeing the same. It would probably be the same number of people that are going to get paid out, but how many bad lineups are in one of these. I would guess there aren't a lot of good lineups. So that's kind of how, I don't know, that's kind of how I feel about that. When does the season end for Rainmakers? I'm pretty sure the FedEx Cup playoffs, but maybe not, because how I kind of read this, the off-season snapshot, I imagine, I don't know, man. Why would they have this here? This almost feels like it's this season. Unless they're already kind of looking into next season. I imagine this is for this season of Rainmaker cards. And then maybe it just starts anew January 1st. Since we don't see anything on January 1st. And by the way, this has been up since Rainmakers has been established. So, yeah. This was misleading to some extent. Standings have been updated 1 a.m. Eastern. No. I mean, so I was sitting at 600 points. Maybe it was 400 points. And I bought a couple rookie cards to get my score up. That got me like inside the top, like 180. Yeah, so I'm right here 130th, but nah, never mind. So 130, I think I got paid out. My $50, right? 130. Yeah, that sucks. I wanted to get right in here. I wanted that 100, double this money. It moves a lot Monday night, by the way. It moves a lot. Because Sunday night, when I was looking at it, it did not, it really didn't move much. Yeah, Monday did. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be it for me. 11 o'clock. Yeah, good enough time to end. Had a busy day today. And barely got all of this updated before going live. So anyways, we're going to call our quits there. Sorry for those that look like they just joined, but yeah, covered Barbasol, we covered the Genesis Scottish Open, we did some Rainmakers stuff. By the way, one other thing to note, Rainmakers, there won't be one for Barracuda, so do not invest on Barracuda cards or the players that are in the Barracuda. They're not going to have a contest on there will have no contest on Rainmakers, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys. See you later, Shelly Card, Ian, anyone else that's in the chat. I will see you guys next week. All right.